Hey guys, it's Wil Fleming for the IYCA coming to you today, and I want to share with you one of my favorite new tools we've been using. It's been a game changer when it comes to horizontal explosive power. A lot of our athletes are going to need that, particularly your football players and throwers in track and field need horizontal explosive power. Plyometric push-up has been a go-to when it comes to explosion with the upper body, but plyometric push-ups are difficult for our younger athletes, they're difficult for our bigger athletes. Most importantly, they don't generate force from the ground up. The force is generated just through the upper body. So we want to have a very all-encompassing, true power scenario where we're generating force from the ground up. This is the game changer we've been working with. A couple of my coaches have been helping me experiment with this, and it's been awesome. So you can see we have a two-band setup right here. I have a light band underneath and a heavy band up top. Light band's going to assist my athletes in getting into a hip hinge pattern. Right here, athletes are going to be let the light band draw them into hip hinge, explode into hip extension. This band's typically very light because we're not trying to load hip extension. We're trying to assist in hip extension. I'm trying to assist and get into a hip hinge position. The hip extension should be lightly loaded. All I'm trying to do is get the athlete to feel the hip hinge and see how that's going to correlate into more power from the upper body. Second band is a bigger band. This is a Teal Thunder band, and we're using this. This is going to be our pressing band. This is going to be something for our high school athletes or above. You could do two blacks or two purples as another option for athletes that aren't as strong. So with the big band up top, we want to have a very specific setup. Grab about shoulder width apart, a little bit of tension, pull the band apart just a little bit so they're a little bit wider than shoulder width, and that's going to actually set the shoulder blades into a good pattern, similar to what we'd be doing if we were doing a push-up or if we were doing a bench press or a dumbbell bench press. Good stable platform to press from, have the shoulders in a really advantageous position. From there, we're going to get into both bands. Lighter band around the hips, top band up around the chest level, spread out just a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're going to let the lighter band draw us into hip hinge, drive into hip extension, explode out with the hands. You can see from the side that I'm trying to let the hips start the movement, hips start, finish through the hands. It's just like what our athletes are going to see if they're a football player, if they're a thrower in track and field. It's a great explosive movement. It's been a literal game changer for our athletes, for our shot putters, our discus throwers, our football players, tons more. They're developing more power, more explosive power, links up well with doing stuff like bench press for developing that power. They have a good drive. They feel the interaction between their lower body and upper body in that drive phase. Also, another great tool, you can use this as an explosive way for conditioning with your athletes. The Olympic lifts are such a hard thing to use for conditioning or interval work because the technique diminishes so quickly. It's a pretty simple movement, but similar kind of power drive. It's something we can use, so we set an interval timer with our athletes. Have them get set up right here, and rather than doing a reset in between each rep, they're going to go continuous. So it's here, drive, 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 drive. Every time, in 10 to 15 seconds of work, take a rest. It's been a great tool, both for the power and for the interval conditioning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in comments below.